Welcome to Postcard English Stories. Hello and welcome to another cozy episode of Postcard English Stories. I'm so happy you're here tonight, and I promise this story will be the perfect way to unwind and practice your English. Have you ever had those nights when the world seems to slow down and your thoughts begin to wander? When the quiet of the night invites you to reflect on everything, your dreams, your fears, your memories? Well, tonight's story is all about those moments. Those late-night reflections that can change the way you see the world. In this episode, we'll dive into some late-night thoughts in English. It's a story that explores the beauty of silence, the lessons we learn from our quiet moments, and the things we often forget to appreciate during our busy days. Whether you're a night owl or just someone looking to relax, this story will help you practice your English while you enjoy a peaceful, reflective journey. So, sit back, grab your favorite drink, and let's take a quiet walk through the thoughts that come when the world is asleep. Let's begin, shall we? It was a typical late night, one of those nights where everything around you seems to slow down, and the quietness of the world invites you to think deeply. I sat by the window, my cup of tea in hand, gazing out at the night sky. The moon was bright, and the stars twinkled like little diamonds scattered across a dark velvet blanket. There was something magical about these moments. The stillness, the silence, and the space they created for thoughts to wander. As I sat there, I found myself thinking about life in a way that I didn't during the day. When the world is busy and full of noise, it's hard to hear your own thoughts. But at night, everything changes. The silence allows you to hear your own mind more clearly. And tonight, my thoughts seem to flow more freely than usual. I thought about the questions we all ask ourselves. What is the meaning of life? What am I doing with my time? Am I on the right path? These are the kinds of questions that seem to appear when the day is done and the world is at rest. We ask them because we want to make sense of our journey. We want to know that the choices we've made, the paths we've followed, have meaning. I had been thinking a lot about this lately. As I grew older, I realized how important it was to have a sense of purpose. But what does it mean to have a purpose? Is it something big, like changing the world? Or is it something small, like making a difference in the lives of the people we love? I don't have all the answers, but I do know that the small moments often have more meaning than we realize. For example, I thought about the simple act of writing this down. It might seem like just another thought in a long list of thoughts that come and go. But to me, in this moment, it felt important. It was my way of understanding myself, of reflecting on what I've learned. And I realized that maybe that's the meaning of life. To constantly search, to constantly grow, and to always learn from our experiences. As I looked out at the moonlit sky, I felt a deep sense of peace. There is a special kind of stillness that comes with the night. It's a quiet that allows you to reconnect with yourself. During the day, we are distracted by so many things: work, people, responsibilities. But at night, when everything slows down, it's as if the universe gives you permission to pause, to breathe, and to just be. In these quiet moments, I found clarity. I realized that often we rush through life, trying to achieve more, do more, be more. But in doing so, we sometimes forget the importance of stillness. We forget the value of simply existing in the present moment. Tonight, The night sky seemed to remind me that we don't need to rush. Sometimes, the most meaningful moments come when we stop, when we let go of the need to control everything, and just allow ourselves to be part of the world around us. I thought about all the times I had rushed through my days, always moving from one task to the next, always thinking about the next thing on my to-do list. But tonight, I realized that maybe the most important thing wasn't getting everything done, but taking the time to appreciate the small moments, like sitting here in the quiet of the night, reflecting on life. As my thoughts wandered, I began to feel a sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the simple things in life, for the warm tea in my hands, for the sound of the rain tapping gently against the window, for the comfort of my home, and for the people I love. Sometimes we get so caught up in our goals and aspirations that we forget to appreciate the small things that make life worth living. It's easy to overlook the beauty in the ordinary, but tonight I felt deeply grateful for everything, the good and the bad. The challenges I had faced had taught me valuable lessons, and the moments of happiness had made life brighter. I thought about the people who had been there for me, who had supported me through difficult times. I realized that the connections we have with others are what truly make life meaningful. As I sat there, I made a mental note to remember these moments of gratitude, to remember that no matter how busy life gets, there are always things that I'd be thankful for, and that sometimes it's the small things, the quiet moments, the simple acts of kindness that have the most profound impact on our lives. There's something about nighttime that invites us to reflect. The darkness of the night allows our thoughts to roam freely, without distractions. I thought about the future, about where I was headed and what I wanted to achieve. But for the first time, I didn't feel anxious about it. I realized that I didn't need to have everything figured out. Life doesn't need to be a perfect plan. It's about the journey, not the destination. As I sat there, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. The world outside was calm, and so was I. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel the need to chase anything. I didn't need to prove anything to anyone. All I needed to do was enjoy the present, appreciate the journey, and trust that things would fall into place when they were meant to. I thought about how often we worry about the future, about what's next, about what we need to achieve. But tonight, I realized that the future will take care of itself. We can't control everything, and that's okay. All we can do is live in the present, make the most of the moments we have, and trust that the rest will unfold in its own time. The rain had finally stopped, and the air felt cool, almost crisp. I stood by the window, looking out into the night, watching the soft glow of the streetlights reflect on the wet pavement. There's something about the way everything looks after the rain. Cleaner, quieter, more peaceful. It's as if the world has been washed away, leaving behind only the stillness that allows us to hear our own thoughts. I always find that I think the clearest when everything around me is silent. It's as if the quiet gives me permission to really listen to myself. As the clock ticked slowly towards midnight, I realized that these late-night moments, these peaceful, solitary hours, have always been the ones when I do the most thinking. I think about my life, my choices, and the things that matter most, and tonight it was no different. I found myself thinking about the passage of time. Time is something we often take for granted. we rush through our days, always looking ahead, always thinking about what we have to do next. We forget to stop and appreciate where we are in the moment. But when the world slows down, when everything is quiet, we're reminded that time is precious. It's not something we can control, and it's certainly not something we can get back once it's gone. Tonight, as I looked out at the night sky, I thought about the years that had passed. I thought about the things I had accomplished, the people I had met, and the moments I had lived. Some of those moments were happy, some were sad, but all of them had shaped me into who I was today. I realized that in those quiet, reflective moments, I can see things clearly. I can understand the past with more clarity, and I can plan for the future with a sense of calm. But the most important thing I realized was this: life is not just about what we do, but how we experience it. It's about the little things, the simple moments that we often overlook, the quiet moments when we are alone with our thoughts, the small acts of kindness, and the connections we make with the people around us. These are the moments that make life truly meaningful. As I sat there, I couldn't help but feel grateful for this moment of stillness. In a world that is always moving, always busy, we often forget the importance of quiet. The noise of our daily lives can drown out the things that really matter. But tonight, I was reminded of the power of quiet, the power it has to help us reflect, to understand ourselves better, and to connect with the world around us. I thought about how easy it is to get caught up in the rush of life. We spend so much time chasing after things, chasing after success, after approval, after the next big thing. But in doing so, we often forget to appreciate the small moments that make life beautiful. We forget to appreciate the stillness, the quiet times that allow us to just be. Tonight, I was reminded that it's okay to slow down, to pause, and to simply be present in the moment. The world doesn't need us to be constantly busy. It doesn't need us to be always doing something. Sometimes the most important thing we can do is nothing at all. Sometimes the most important thing is to simply sit in silence and listen to our own thoughts. And in doing so, we may find the answers we've been looking for all along. As I continued to sit by the window, I felt a wave of gratitude wash over me. Gratitude for the quiet moments, for the chance to reflect, and for the lessons I've learned along the way. It's easy to take things for granted, to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. But tonight, I realized that gratitude is the key to appreciating the small moments, to finding peace in the chaos. I thought about the people in my life who had supported me, who had helped me become the person I am today. I thought about the love and kindness I had received from my family, my friends, and even from strangers. Sometimes we forget how much we are loved, how much we are cared for. But tonight, I was reminded of the love that surrounds me, and I felt deeply thankful for it. Gratitude doesn't just make us feel good. It changes the way we see the world. When we practice gratitude, we begin to notice the beauty in the small things. We begin to appreciate the moments we might have otherwise overlooked. We begin to see the world with new eyes. But even as I felt grateful, I couldn't help but think about the future. The future is a mystery, isn't it? We can plan for it, we can try to control it, but we never really know what it holds. I thought about the goals I had for the future, the things I wanted to achieve, and the person I wanted to become. And yet, I knew that the future wasn't something to be feared. It wasn't something to be anxious about. It was something to be embraced. The future is a blank canvas, waiting to be painted with the colors of our experiences. We can't control everything, but we can control how we approach it. We can choose to face it with hope, with courage, and with a sense of peace. Tonight, I realized that the unknown isn't something to be afraid of. It's something to be excited about. It's an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become the best version of ourselves. As the night grew later, I felt more and more at peace. The world outside had quieted, and the noise inside my mind had faded away. I realized that, in this moment, I didn't need to worry about the past or the future. I didn't need to stress about what I had done or what I had yet to do. All I needed to do was enjoy the present, this moment, right here, right now. The moon was high in the sky, casting its soft glow over the world below. The night air was cool and fresh, and the sound of the wind rustling the trees was the only sound I could hear. It was in these moments of quiet that I found peace. It was in these moments that I realized how much I have to be grateful for. And so, as the clock ticked on and the night stretched out before me, I sat back, closed my eyes, and took a deep breath. The world was quiet, and so was I. For the first time in a long time, I felt content. I didn't need anything else. All I needed was this moment, this quiet, peaceful moment, and the knowledge that everything was as it should be. And that, my friends, is the beauty of late-night thoughts. In the stillness of the night, we are able to connect with ourselves in ways we don't often get to during the day. The quiet gives us the space to reflect, to be grateful, and to appreciate everything we have. If you've enjoyed this journey into late-night reflections, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to Postcard English Stories. Let's continue to explore the beauty of the present moment and learn English through the stories that matter. Subscribe now and join me for more heartwarming stories that help you improve your English and your life, one story at a time.